Hello everyone, this video is about various codal provisions of fillet weld part 3.
So the next dimension or the next terminology in the fillet weld is effective length. So far we have discussed about the cross section. Okay, so far we have discussed about the cross section and we have seen the dimension in that cross section, that is size and throat thickness, which are very important. Now after that, length. So actually in those diagrams I have shown only the size and throat thickness. So in those diagrams the length is perpendicular to the board. Now I'm going to show the length in this diagram by using a section. Okay. So by using a 3 plates here, I'm going to make I section like this. So this is one plate which I'm going to use as a flange plate, and this is another plate which I'm going to use as a web. This is a one more plate. Okay, top and bottom two plates which are going to use it as a flanges, and in between web. So now to connect these 3 plates, we require a weld. So that weld is obviously fillet weld. The reason we are going to connect these members with an angle, obviously we have to use fillet weld. So in this cross section, we can see the cross section of fillet weld. So this is the cross section of I. Okay, that is a cross section of I. Now I'm going to show you the front view. It means, see, here the length is perpendicular to the board. In this case, the length is perpendicular to the board. So if you see from the side, can we see the length or not? So if you see like this, then we can see the cross section. In this case, the length is perpendicular to the board. But if I see from the side, then I can see the length. So that length I'm going to show here. Clear? That length of that I section I'm going to show here. So the length continues. So the symbol indicates the length continues. So if we see from side view, this flange seems like a 2 lines, and web seems like a rectangle, and this flange also seems like a 2 lines. So this I explained in for angle. Yes or no? So for angle I have explained the same thing by using books. So once try to remember it. This is the flange plate, top flange plate, and this is the bottom flange plate. Clear? So now this flange plate is connected to the web plate by using a fillet weld. Now in this cross section or in this view, we can see the length of the fillet weld. Agree or not? In this case, we can see the length of the fillet weld. Now assume it as a simply supported beam. So here the support is there, right? Because we have to support it. So there also the simple support, other side also simple support, but length continues. Now here the load is like this, P on the cross section. Here also the load is like this, exactly at the center, so the length continues. Now obviously, as we discussed, we have to place weld or use weld for connecting this flange plate to the web plate. Now here we are going to use so this is how the fillet weld is going to provide it. Now this is the length. So this length, see, we can provide the continuous weld or intermittent weld. But if we provide continuous weld, what happens? It is uneconomical. The reason, so in design you will understand it much clearly. The length decides the strength. Okay, the length of the fillet weld decides the strength of the fillet weld. So if the strength of the fillet weld is greater than or equal to external applied load, so that is enough. So that is a safe design. So for that length, so for that strength, length is a deciding factor. So sufficient length, how much length is required, that much of length only we are going to provide. If we provide more than more than that length, then of course it is a safe. That is known as over safe, but it is uneconomical. So being an engineer, we are not only supposed to provide technically good design, but we have to provide economical design also. So for that, how much length is required for the strength, from the strength point of view, that much of length only we have to provide. More than that, it is not required. But we can provide continuous weld also. It means from year to year or from year to the throughout the length we can provide weld. But that is not required. But if you see in the practical case also, the weld is not always continuous. So we are going to observe discontinuous weld only or intermittent weld only. The reason from economical point of view. So see, strength is the first point. After that, economical point or the financial thing will come into the picture. But first, strength. So for that strength, intermediate weld is more than enough. But as I said, if you provide, so if you want, we can provide continuous weld also. Okay. Now, if you observe here, this is the actual length. Okay, if you observe here, this is the actual length. Now, effective length is nothing but from this actual length, on both sides we have to detect the size of the fillet weld. So this is S and this is S. So now the between length, this is known as L effective. The between length is known as L effective. So this is L effective. So from this we can say what is L effective? L effective is nothing but, so here I am writing L effective is nothing but actual length LA minus 2S. So this is the actual length LA. So actual length LA minus 2S. So this is the provision for effective length. So the length what we are going to see in the diagram or drawing is effective length. The length what we are going to see in the drawing. So actually in the design we are going to supply the drawing, or we are going to draw the drawing. So in that drawing, what the length we are going to see in that drawing is known as, in the chart is known as L effective. So that L effective is nothing but L actual minus 2S. So 2 times we have to detect the size. So this is the provision regarding L effective length. Clear? Take it down. So this is about the effective length. So now there exists one provision regarding the intermittent weld or discontinuous weld. So this provision is not valid for continuous weld. So that provision is nothing but pitch. Clear? That provision is nothing but pitch. So once you tell me what is the maximum pitch for bolted connections. What is the maximum pitch for bolted connections? So in detail we have discussed all the provisions in bolted connections. Yes or no? So here also one provision we are going to make use, or we are going to repeat this provision. That provision is maximum pitch for fillet weld. So that too, what is meant by pitch? It is a distance. Yes or no? So simply pitch is nothing but spacing. So when the question of spacing arises, tell me. So if the weld is discontinuous or intermittent, then only the spacing, the question of spacing will arise. Or else if the weld is continuous, from here to here the weld is continuous, then no need of spacing. Yes or no? No need of spacing. So if at all the weld is discontinuous or intermittent, then only the question of spacing will arise. So in that case, in intermediate case, what is the provision regarding the spacing or pitch? Let us see. Maximum pitch only. No need of minimum pitch, or no, there is no such provision. Only the maximum provision is there. So now you tell me, in bolted connections, what is the maximum pitch when it is subjected to compression? Tell me, what is the maximum pitch when it is subjected to compression? 12T or 200 mm, whichever is minimum. Yes or no? If it is subjected to tension, 16T or 200 mm, whichever is minimum. Agree or not? In the same way here also, this I am going to analyze as a simply supported beam with center point load, or simply simple supported beam. So simply supported beam with center point load, which type of bending moment it is subjected to? So it is subjected to sagging bending moment. So it means in sagging bending moment, above neutral axis compression and below neutral axis tension. Yes or no? Above neutral axis compression, below neutral axis tension. So that compression is bending here. So that may be bending or axial. That is irrelevant here, but you should observe, or we should observe here, compression and tension. So now if it is a compression, what is the maximum pitch? 12T or 200 mm, whichever is minimum. If it is tension, 16T or 200 mm, whichever is minimum. So the same provisions here also. I'm going to show it in this diagram itself. So this is the neutral axis, NA, neutral axis. So simply supported, here I'm writing SSB. So SSB is nothing but simply supported beam. Simply supported beam with sagging. Sagging bending moment. BM is nothing but sagging bending moment. What is the meaning of it? That is above neutral axis is compression, below neutral axis tension. Agree or not? So this is the case of simply supported beam with sagging bending moment. So above neutral axis compression, below neutral axis tension. So now based on that, so this is the pitch here. So obviously here it is 12T or 200 mm. Why? Because it is compression. So whichever is less, we know that. Here tension. So how much it is? 16T or 200 mm. So out of these two, we have to take minimum. These two less. Here also less. So this is for intermittent weld. Okay, this is for intermittent weld. So here I am writing intermittent or discontinuous weld. So if it is continuous, there arises a no question of pitch or spacing. Yes or no? So keep that point in your mind. So intermittent or discontinuous weld. So intermittent or discontinuous weld. That is the profession. So take it down. So you draw the two diagrams separately. The first diagram, in the first diagram I have shown what is LF2. In this diagram I am going to show you the maximum pitch in compression and maximum pitch in tension. So you draw the diagram, two diagrams differently. Okay. Don't overlap in the same diagram. Why? Because chances are there for you to confuse. So take it down.